Guess what? We're done.
Woohoo!
Come on downstairs.
Oh my gosh! What? That's crazy!
This is amazing.
Oh my God.
Income suites used to be a nice way to help with the payments, but in my generation, it's a reality and it's a necessity. If you want to have a home and you want to have a life, I mean, you really need some help, and this is the best way to do it.
At age 31, Scott already has a decade of real estate experience.
I got started when I was in university. A friend of mine and I, instead of renting, we decided to buy against all advice from friends and family. You're too young, what are you doing? You've got student debt. But we bought the house and we rented part of it out, lived there, and then we repeated the process 30 times.
Typically, the backsplash is installed after the cabinets, but I have a wallpaper backsplash that looks exactly like tile, and if I put it up before the cabinets, I can avoid any awkward cutting.
The range is going there, right?
The range is here, so let's take the next sheet of wallpaper right down to the bottom. That way when you pull it out, we'll have it all tucked in behind. Here's a tape measure.
You didn't want a range hood, do you?
Yeah, a range hood. Range hood. We have no power, and we have no vent going outside.
We got out electrical, HVAC, a hole to the outside, rip out this ceiling. It's gonna be tough to add one.
No matter how experienced you are, virtually every renovation has at least one overlooked detail. But luckily, every problem has a solution.
With the filter, with the charcoal filter, recirculating range hood.
We could do a recirculating range hood.
This is what I'll do then. I'll take it back to the studs. That way we have something to screw into, right up to behind the cabinets. Take the wire right over here. 10 minutes.
10 minutes. What kind of value do you think this finished apartment brings to the whole home?
For something like this, probably close to $700,000. So you maybe have an increase of $50,000.
That's amazing. That's a great return on investment.
You know, the typical purchaser or renter, they'll probably look at about 10 or 11 properties before making their final decision. For this, they'd probably look at one and never have to look again.
Good. Perfect. That's what I want to hear. I brought in an appraiser to get a second opinion on everything, and he said you should be landing somewhere between $1,600 and $1,700 a month in rent. That's great. Even better, you have a legal triplex now.
All right.
Awesome.
That's great. Fire inspector came back, signed off on everything. We fixed all the deficiencies in the house.
That is great.
You want to keep
good
that for
news.
your files.
All right.
Where'd you buy the house for?
$559.
He said this house would probably sell for about $800,000.
Did he really? All right, we're selling the house.
So I just got back from the city, and they changed the plans a little bit.
What's the difference now?
They want us to add a window here, in this bedroom.
The whole genius behind this plan was that we opened this up and we gained this window in the bedroom. So what's the problem with that?
Even though there's an opening, this window counts for this room. This space needs a window as well. There's a catch. The inspector said adding this window will give us the proper glass allowance for this room, but we're gonna be over our glass allowance for the outside of the house. We're gonna have too many windows on the outside of the house.
Most cities have a glass allowance policy, which means you're only allowed a certain amount of glass on the side of your home that's facing another home. And this is due to the fire code and the fires spreading from one building to another. And on this particular home, we're maxed out. With the amount of windows they have, there's no more room for another one. So it wants us to add a window, but we already have too many windows?
You got it.
Oh, we didn't plan for this.
The inspector said we need to add a window here. So we gotta somehow add a window without adding any glass area.
Well, we can't get rid of the other bedroom. The bedroom has to stay. The bathroom doesn't need a window. In fact, I don't even like the window in the shower stall. If we close the bathroom window and we use the same size here, we're not changing the amount of glass on this side of the building. But that means closing the bathroom, putting a vent in there.
So to keep costs down, why don't we use the same window, pop that window in here, put those bricks over there.
Swap-a-roo. Yeah, I guess we have no choice. I did bring an appraiser through the house today. It's unique being 2 bedrooms is really something special. I told him you bought the house for $343,000 10 months ago.
Right.
And he said this house if he were to give it a formal appraisal, would be well worth $420,000 today.
Yay, Heather!
It's going to be an easy one to rent. So you're well into the $1,200–1,300 a month range, easily.
And start paying off all my freaking debt.
Yeah. Well, that's it, and now it's the easy part. All you have to do is rent it out. You want to mention it's 2 bedrooms, spacious, open concept, fully renovated, separate entrance. We've only got 2 inches behind here, not enough to fully insulate.
We'll stuff bad insulation in there all the way up.
Okay.
Stuff bad insulation all along the top.
And you know what I want to just make sure, Mike, is that we get up on the ladder and we insulate all the way to the header. So this whole ductwork will be in its own insulated and vapor wrapped sleeve. We're not doing the 4-piece anymore. Homeowners want to really ramp it up and go with like that executive glass door shower. A little more expensive, but you know, so their wish is our command.
You're a magician.
I'm a magician. Door, half wall, shower seat. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's comfortable in here. It's kind of nice. I have to do a full run of pots.
It's right there. It's toasty.
Is it warm?
Yeah. Right there.
There it is. There's our last pot light, and it's on, and it's hot.
It is.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's right here. That's burning hot right there. So the drywallers went right over it.
Let's see if we see light.
Bingo. This is... That is really hot.
So there's no concern for fire. Good thing we found it, but we're fine. These have an automatic heat shut off. Just the box would just shut off. They have the heat shut off.
Good that we found it. I brought an appraiser over and we went through the neighborhood and looked at some comparables. This neighborhood has appreciated by less than 1% this year. But your house has appreciated between 12 and 15%.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Not to mention, the icing on the cake, you're gonna get rent every single month. This apartment should easily rent between $1,000 and $1,200 a month. And I would start at $1,200 a month because you've got a superstar apartment here. You're still gonna have to
Be a landlord.
which includes
Checks to the bank.
taking checks to the bank. I want a high five on that.
Cable to both rooms and phone to both rooms. Is that good?
I'm demanding, I know.
No, you're not. Wonderful.
I will definitely be able to pay off my home before I'm 40, which is incredible. It just means my experiences down the road are going to be endless.
I have 20 12-inch doors, and you're telling me now we need to get one of them has to be 9 inches? That's gonna look silly.
Problem is we can't move this at all. This is stuck. Can't move it. We can't move this. It's a domino effect. If we change one cabinet, we got to change them all.
No, I really like this layout. I'm gonna make it work. This is the challenge we have working with standard cabinetry. I mean, we save a lot of money, but we don't get the perfect fit every time. We're not able to move our load-bearing wall. We're not able to move our exterior wall. Therefore, we can't optimize this space with a cabinet. We'll have to customize this area.
So you're thinking continue the countertop over the top, 3 shelves below.
Same color as the rest of the kitchen. We'll use like a gable wall and cut it up.
You know what? That'll work.
Whose bright idea was this? I like this, running the vent right through so we can maximize the size of the bed. Was that you, Yoji?
Yes.
You know what? It's actually going to warm it from below.
Feels pretty sturdy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I like this.
We're going to just MDF the front, paint it all wall color. The width here of this ledge is 60 inches right on the width of our bed. The bed will go right to the edge there. You won't have any space between. Recess right in.
Exactly according to plan. Maximize the size of the bed. Don't compromise the heat register coming through. Build it in. Stop the guesswork. We know what we can fit in this room. The bamboo laminate looks phenomenal, nice and bright. Meeting up with the bathroom. Now, this is a good part of the renovation for me. It's like the home stretch. Now it's just piecing it all together. We're gonna have a small transition here from the bathroom to the laminate.
Once we add our tile, it'll be about 3/8 of an inch, and our reducer will eat that up, no problem.
So it's a good day. Lots of progress. What did the building inspector say this morning?
He came by and obviously he's happy with the insulation. Vapor barrier was great.
Okay.
Then he went downstairs
To the crawl space.
to the crawl space and had a couple problems. You coming?
Well, there's a few cobwebs. I might let you blaze the trail. What the?
There's a window in the back corner.
Holy cow.
You know what I mean?
is that doing there?
The inspector wants us to stud it, rock solid, and drywall it completely.
The inspector came by to inspect the work. Everything looks good. But what he did find was there's an existing window, which would have originally been an exterior window on the main house. That second window compromises the fire separation we have between the two units.
And physically, it's like, look, it's almost the height of my flashlight in some places. Like, I can't squeeze in there. We'll turn it around there.
All right.
And I had to crawl in that tight, nasty spot, but I fire rated that window, maintained the fire separation. Now we have no deficiencies, and we can get on with our work.
Now, $1,000 a month, that's covering a huge portion of your mortgage.
Huge.
It'll help us pay the mortgage and other costs besides. We have the 3 kids still in school. And we don't have that many more years to work until retirement age, so we'd like to get as much paid off as possible.
I would just basically advise you to make sure you have a lease, even though it's family.
Yes.
Have your lease and get your post-dated checks. And when you sign all those post-dated checks and the lease, then we hand over the keys. You ready to live here or what?
Yes, I'm totally ready.
All right, so let's go take a look at this lease that you guys have chalked up.
I don't want to leave.
No.
Stay in here.
If you want to move in, we got to sign the lease.
Okay.
This is a taste.
The next steps for me would be to get this place rented out, get the tenants leased. After that, start to take a look at properties around the neighborhood and start to get my next property.
I brought a real estate appraiser through today.
Okay.
Loved the house, loved the location. He thinks that you're in a good position to sort of wait out the ups and downs of the market, and you're cash flowing, so you've got no reason to sell. He thinks your house is well over $400,000, which means you've got some money to play with there.
Yep.
It is a buyer's market, which means you could set yourself up in a really good position to pick up another property.
Right.
And he thinks that this apartment could easily earn you $900 a month, plus the tenants can pay their own utilities. Checks to the bank, baby.